What's up guys, welcome back to a new video on the Alien Algo channel. Today we'll be getting into the crypto markets again. For the general markets I will make it quite quick because this could either be good or be bad. We now know this is that crucial support to hold, and we simply flip this, and now we are looking at these previous lows right here, which also correlate with this recent high. So it's quite simple. We either break, hold, and go further, or we reject, we create a lower high, and we get back into the zone, perhaps even deeper. So I would simply look at this point as the current high before we can look at this level to be seen, perhaps even today. Or if we reject, we simply go down to here. For the NDQ, going up strong still. The Dow Jones seems to be showing a little bit of weakness. Could find acceptance back below the blue lines, which would not be great for the industrial stocks, but I don't think most of you trade these, so it doesn't really matter that much. So when we get into BTC, we see that the last video was made right around here, I think from the top of my head. Yeah, should be around here-ish, where we wanted to see either this getting flipped to look at more upside, or we see it reject around here to look at these targets to catch some lows. And what I mean with watching the flows of the market, when we go into lower time frames, I think it will be quite clear. You see, you hit it, but you start to dump anyways. So this could have been quite a short trade, but we didn't see some massive move towards the upside where we continue. You just see candles just keep getting smaller, the moves keep getting smaller, so no big change. So with this, we start to consolidate again with the opportunity to get down deeper. So we simply see this right here. We see a similar pattern occurring here, and here we do see some possible strength if we can hold above here, in my opinion. And if we look at the higher time frames, it's even more clear. Where you see that tiny bounce, you see it retracing into here, you see a tiny bounce again, you see it break, and it goes into that daily endpoint we were talking about, meaning naked POC. And we broke it. Then we get into those single prints, we get back up to the daily endpoint, and we go down again. So there are multiple trades here to play. You can be safe and just not enter here or here or here or here and simply play it the other way, knowing that here the low has been broken. Okay, maybe I'll play it here to the downside. With this same logic here applied, see, this body has been where we consolidate, we held, and later it breaks and gets retested to the downside, allowing you to play it to the bottom. So this is simply how you can play both ways. You can either play these short reversions back to the highs, or you follow that lower time frame trend where you see your retraces and breaks, of course, when you look at both sides of the staircases. So this will simply be it for Bitcoin, because I do expect we just go down a little bit further, and I want to show some volume levels right here when we have multiple volume profiles on different lookbacks and fixed ranges. Again, see that here was a value area low from this move, and we have these current levels. When we look at the 30-minute, it becomes a little bit more clear. See here these high volume areas, and this being the most crucial in my opinion, where we could see something like this. We just reject, and oh, that was not supposed to happen, where we just reject and we go back down again. So this one will be crucial in my opinion, but of course before we even get there we need to flip this zone right here. And you can see here it was that previous high, it got flipped and we got that move towards the upside, became support, and now is being retested again. So we are not supposed to be fighting the trend, of course. And if we even look at the bigger picture, this should have been that trigger where we got rejection 1, 2, and that third rejection. When we look at the lower time frame, it was quite a mean rejection as well. And you see it right here. It was this level we were looking at, which of course also was that key area from the 4-hour right here. And we simply rejected from it, giving us that downside move. So when we look at ETH, we do see it is still a bit stronger, but it is also simply retracing. And what do we exactly see? We see this extension level when we get more into the nitty-gritty shit right here. See it closed above on a 1-hour note, but here what do we see? Acceptance back below, and we get that move towards the downside quite aggressively as well, as you can see. Simply compress, try to break above, we reject, and then we go down really fast right after. When we get into my favorite time frame, 30 minutes, we simply see this compression right here and this compression right here, where I conclude this to be a lower time frame range, which if we hold, it is on the higher time frame a break and retest from this range highs. But of course we want to see this hold to confirm this, and thus far it is not. When you look at the 30 minutes, you see it currently holding, but we want to see it get up back above and create a higher low to confirm possible upside, which now it still is trading quite aggressively into it. So when we look at the 0.5 level, which is right here, we also had that previous compression here we can see, and that break, retest, aggressive buying again, and further upside. Multiple retests here as well. So this looks like a proper 0.5 level. But of course, if this range breaks, what do we get? Let's look at the 1 day. On the 1 day, we see a very clear rejection of that first extension of the range. So we do want to see this major area hold. And the thing we would not want to see is find acceptance back within that range. So it could literally be something as minimal as this. When we look at it on a 4-hour, for example, let's say we do something like this and we don't get above, then I will be looking at more ups and more downside. But if we trade in here and we start to form some sort of higher low, then I will be looking at more upside. So this will be the lower time frame triggers when we are wanting to play this zone. So the 30 minutes, we see it currently right at that low. And of course that higher time frame, quite crucial to hold. So let's get back into BTC. Here we see the same again. What did we want to see? This massive candle has one big inefficiency right here, with that the daily NPOC, naked POC of course, was right in the middle of that inefficiency, and those single prints being crucial levels on the lower time frame. So this will be simply the levels we are looking at for BTC and ETH. I won't touch that much on alts for now, so I will simply just go through them. As you can see also here a main rejection on banana. We wanted to see this push in and break back above, unable to break above this point, so we rejected. Also no hold right here, we just blasted straight through. When we look at the lower time frame, really was a violent move towards the downside, and we are currently retesting it. So if we want to see upside, we want to see this box getting reclaimed, because this of course is on a daily, and we still have about 8 hours, which it really isn't that weird for crypto to just reverse a move like this within a day, with it only being 3.64% down. So let's get into virtual. Clean rejection from that resistance as well, giving some nice downside move. Hype, yeah, it's criminal how strong this is. We have seen a retest and just a clear bounce with very minimal pullbacks. Dia, they took me out of the trade right around here, I think, if I'm correct. Yes, my entry was around here. Had my stops right below this. They took it out. I walked away with very minimal profit. Although, let's have a look. Yeah, this is also retracing back into the zone. So we simply wanted to see this hold as well. Pendle, quite strong bounce on the lower time frame. But when we look at the higher time frame, it is still trading above that level we were watching. So this still looks quite strong, with it wedging around these lows, which could be kind of bullish if you manage to sweep these and we just go back up again. So I would look for a little bit more downside on the lower time frames, unless of course BTC manages to hold this area and ETH manages to stay around these levels and create a higher low right after. So that will be it. I wanted to get into some more details with Bitcoin today and ETH, so I hope you liked the bit more of detail. And without more having said, let's keep trading and have a nice day, guys. Bye.